Please welcome Senior Vice President, Manufacturing, Salesforce, Amy Armstrong.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Dreamforce 2025. I am Amy Armstrong, and I have the pleasure of running our commercial manufacturing business across North America. It is great to see so many familiar faces here today and so many people here for our manufacturing keynote. But before we get started, I wanted to take a moment for a sincere thank you. Look around. Each of you and the companies that you represent are the engine that drive our global economy. From massive infrastructure to the components in your smartphone, you quite literally make the world work. And we at Salesforce are honored to work with you. So as we think about what has made manufacturers successful, there's one thing that is abundantly clear. Excellence is in your DNA. Manufacturers have spent decades pursuing perfection on the shop floor and in operational processes. And this was not always easy. It took massive investments in technology, in complex engineering, and in organizational discipline that very few other industries can match. And because of this excellence, it has created transformative benefits, not only for your companies, but for the global economy. And when we look at those results, they are staggering. We see manufacturers reaching near perfect Six Sigma level by eliminating virtually all defects in multiple processes. And you're doing this while driving a massive percentage of the global GDP, all the while focusing on efficiency, on maintaining sustained operations, and most importantly, prioritizing the safety of millions of workers. When manufacturers focus on a complex challenge, you master it. And while we've mastered the operational side, we haven't necessarily seen the same level of focus and investment on the customer-facing aspects of the business. How many of you still use Excel spreadsheets to run some of your sales processes? How many of you have a service tech that needs to dig through a PLM to find a product number in order to answer a customer challenge? But the good news is we're all in it together. We've got knowledge that is scattered across silos. We have margin pressures, and we're staring down this skill gap as our experienced workers are starting to retire. But what if we could help you with that? You've spent this week hearing us talk about agentic AI, and that is the cornerstone of our product, Agentforce. Agentforce is the platform that will help you to automate processes. It is the platform that will help you to deliver one-on-one personalized interactions. It's the platform that will help you make every single employee an expert. And mostly, it's the platform that will help you to drive more impact from your best employees. But before we can get there, we have to face the architectural truth. Your business is complex. Your business is built on dozens, sometimes hundreds of applications, multiple ERPs, PLMs, supply chains, data lakes, and guess what? It gets more complicated year over year with M&A. So we are in a situation where we have to really figure out how do we drive success out of these architectural challenges. So we're going to take a second and step back and ask the question you've been hearing all week. What if? What if we could help you take the complexity out of those systems? What if we can help apply the same rigor, excellence, and operational discipline that you have to the shop floor direct to your front-end systems? So to hear about how Salesforce is helping us with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage Tony Cradaville, VP of Manufacturing Solutions.
All right.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, thank you, Amy, and welcome again, everyone. It's really exciting to see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new ones here. I think Amy framed up the problem perfectly here. You live in a world of complexity, and when I think about the world that manufacturers live in, Most of us never had the opportunity to design our architectures, right? We either inherited them or we acquired them, but it's kind of the card that you're dealt, right? And you have to make it work. In some ways, a platform approach is really the only way that you could solve this problem of insulating your customers, your employees, your channel partners from that back office complexity. And we've been doing this with manufacturers for 26 years. The Salesforce platform, as it was known then, was really core to making this successful for a lot of manufacturers. The platforms continue to evolve, though. We continue to innovate every year. We've added multiple technical capabilities to the platform. We built out the application framework. And more importantly, last year, we introduced Agentforce, right? It's only been a year, and Agentforce has been in market, which brought the world of agentic AI to the Salesforce platform. One other key innovation that we introduced 6 years ago now was this concept called manufacturing cloud. The idea behind this was to make a version, a CRM variant that was manufacturing specific. It's something that hadn't been done in the market before. Lots of functionality in that stack that we're talking about, but what's key in the manufacturing solution set is that we've introduced manufacturing data models, manufacturing business processes, and manufacturing applications into the mix here. We've made it purpose-built for manufacturing companies across sales, service, and how you would integrate and collaborate with your channel partners. Over the past year, we've been really busy, though, and the key element that we've been focused on is bringing agentic AI to that manufacturing concept, and we're really excited about how that potentially changes this for our customers. I think the first impact of this is really changing how your employees interact with your enterprise application set, your enterprise data. Imagine like a single pane of glass, first of all, from an application standpoint, where your customers or your employees were insulated from that back office complexity. Add agents on top of that. There's the obvious use cases of automation and efficiency and productivity, right, that come into play here. But I think for manufacturing, what's even more important is the ability to scale knowledge. If you think about your organization, your engineers are masters of product, right? They know the specs, speeds, and feeds inside and out. They know what the product intent was for. Your field techs know the application at your customers, the issues that they face day in and day out, and how the product is really being applied. And then you think of things like your shared service centers, your contact centers, that in some ways act as human middleware on top of that complicated back office framework, right? They know where to find order status, they know how to adjust forecasts, they know how to find pricing. That's, I think, for manufacturers, the real power of agentic AI. All those experts and all those pockets now can be applied across the organization. Everyone in your organization can become an expert across those capabilities. And that fundamentally changes how your customers experience and interact with your organization. Whether it's in a self-service manner, it's working with employees, it's working with channel partners, customers now have the same ability to scale knowledge, gain efficiency in transactions, and ultimately, again, scale their interactions with you as a manufacturer. Fundamentally, there's a paradigm shift here. As Amy said, you've been it's just amazing innovations on the shop floor, right? Amazing levels of efficiency. Now you're able to bring that level of efficiency to your customer interactions. A lot of different manufacturing types here. You're not all the same, but I think this applies to everyone, maybe in different use cases, though. For make-to-stock manufacturers, it fundamentally alters how you interact with your channel partners, right? Increases level of transparency, efficiency. For companies that are very engineering-centric in their sales processes, your responses to RFPs can be automated or drastically compressed. Your precision on costing, pricing, and how you shape your product and your contracts can be radically innovated. And then if I think about asset-centric manufacturers, we've always talked about servitization in that world. The reality is most of you are still kind of caught up in these CapEx buying cycles, right? Agentic AI has the potential to change all that. So in many respects, it's not just digitizing. We're going to talk about digital manufacturing for years. It's more than just digitizing your business process. It's actually fundamentally laying the groundwork for new business models. The market is noticing we're really proud to announce that IDC has actually moved us into the leader quadrant for service lifecycle management applications. This was a great move, and we're super proud of it, largely due to the innovations that we've done in the manufacturing space. But enough of me talking about it. Let's actually take a look at it. With that, I'd like to invite Nanda Chitrala and Ryan Tatum to the stage to walk us through it.
All right, I have it. Thank you, Tony. Are you all excited to see the innovations in action today? Okay, let's get going. We have a lot to unlock today. Over the last few years, manufacturing innovations have been centered around these three critical areas: sales, channel, service, which act as the foundation to the new Agentic Enterprise. Now, we are all in this new Agentforce era, where we are actually taking forward our vision with the new generation of intelligent agents, which work faster, smarter, deeply connected. You harness a lot of enterprise data across customers, assets, and across the channels. How you take them and deliver proactive and intelligent experiences. So let's start off our innovations with service. Our asset-centric service creates a single unified view across the service lifecycle, all the way from establishing single source of truth across asset and the entire asset service history. There are three critical outcomes we deliver. First, shift your service models from being reactive to proactive and predictive. We drive the entire omni-channel engagement from customer service, field service, to the IoT data. Second, we reduce your operational costs across complex processes like warranties, returns, recalls, and inventories. Third, we unlock asset monetization by driving upsell and cross-sell opportunities. So this is how we are able to transform your service from being a cost center to a profitable, data-driven growth engine. One of the first major innovations in service is the asset service management. This intelligent agent summarizes and empowers the technicians and as well as the service reps to be able to work smarter. They can proactively think about what are all the issues that are going to occur, and more importantly, drive real-time asset summaries. It automates the repetitive tasks of creating work orders and codes by driving agent productivity with speed. One of the important things to note in asset service management is the remote service actions, which is part of our connected assets offering. It helps teams to do a real-time poll on an asset for the health check. It can actually perform remote service diagnostics, and more importantly, it can actually do software updates over the air, which actually reduces the truck rolls, which is quite expensive. So in short, we are actually looking at humans working hand in hand with digital labor to deliver the proactive and connected experiences. The next innovation in service is the depot repair and inventory. Now, when you think about the entire process, it's very disconnected and very complex. What if we are able to reduce your total cost of ownership and streamline the entire depot repair process? In summer, we introduced the new stage management framework, which actually helps you just do that, all the way from receiving your RMA request to automating your repair execution. And it does it really well by bringing in the timesheets automations and inventory search. We expand the inventory management capabilities well beyond field service to extend it into product transfers and also doing auto replenishments. One of the key things to note that we are going to introduce in spring 26 is the inventory rotation and allocations, which is very critical in the field service world as you think about managing the entire scheduled orders. I know we spoke about a lot of these innovations. Are you all ready to see this in action? Okay, Ryan, why don't you show us all these in action? Take it away.
Yeah, Thanks, Nanda. I also want to thank TJ, Joshua, and Anna, our amazing demo drivers today. And today, our service journey is going to take us from proactive service to field execution through depot repair and to scalable service campaigns. Let's take a look. As a service rep at Badger Equipment, Stacy keeps her work organized in Slack, where she manages different channels for internal communication and customer support. And here, she receives an alert for a new case in her Tier 1 queue channel. And looking at all of the details within Slack, she can see that this case was auto-generated by telemetry data from a connected asset, specifically an EX210 excavator. And from here, she's able to open the asset service console to see the entire history of the excavator, even including the maintenance timeline. And on the right side of the screen, she's able to see that the telemetry data is confirming that high temperature alert, as well as all the related warranty and service contract information. On the left, we can see the excavator's current health score, as well as its operating capacity. And the service bomb is helping to highlight parts and sub-assemblies in both their installed and as-maintained versions. And this is where the data starts to deliver value. Stacy turns to Agentforce to instantly summarize the excavator's entire history. And this comprehensive summary is saving critical time, eliminating the need to manually piece together a diagnosis. Agentforce is flagging the original high temperature alert, and based on the excavator's data, it's even recommending a likely problem, a hydraulic pump leak. And from here, it's also recommending a remote action for Stacy to run. She quickly executes that remote action, setting the excavator to low power mode and reducing the pump's temperature, avoiding a complete failure and costly shutdown. So now that that pump has been temporarily stabilized, Stacy's going to turn to Agentforce to help recommend replacing it and generating a quote. And here, Agentforce is acting as her expert guide. It's confirming the correct products, confirming the latest price books, and verifying warranty coverage, all in a fraction of the time. And crucially here, the human is always in the loop. Stacy can review and adjust the quote, and then when she's ready, Agentforce will help draft an email summarizing the incident, the resolution, as well as all the quote details. So here, Agentforce has helped Stacy move from an alert to a solution, delivering exceptional customer value, all within minutes. This is pretty amazing, right? Not only did we prevent that asset downtime before it happened, but we identified an additional revenue opportunity. So what happens next? How does Badger extend these same capabilities to their customers for self-service? Lauren, the fleet manager, logs into her Badger portal where she manages all of her assets in one place. And here, Badger has used pre-built topics and actions to create a customer-facing agent to provide that self-service experience. Lauren's able to review all of the details of her quote and accept it. And Agentforce is incorporating the entire context of the issue. And understanding the urgency of Lauren's job, even recommends times for her service appointment. And Agentforce is handling all of the complexity of scheduling. It's checking for the necessary technician skills, verifying when they're available, and immediately creating that appointment, giving Lauren peace of mind and confidence in her partnership with Badger. Now, let's get that pump replaced by a remote field technician. Using the Field Service mobile app, Agentforce has created a pre-work brief, incorporating deep context of the job, including the original temperature alert, and all of the corrective actions that were taken. And the technician can review real-time telemetry data to check the pump's current operating capacity and health score. The asset hierarchy helps to highlight which parts are in need of repair on this job. And what's really important here is that that technician has access to all of that rich data, even including the warranty information. And all of this is done to help ensure a successful repair for this customer. And once this part swap is complete, the technician can immediately initiate the return order to ensure Badger can repair and resell this pump for future revenue. And finally, before moving to the next job, if our technician needs additional parts, we can use Agentforce to run an inventory search and even initiate a transfer if needed. Now, finally, we can also use Agentforce to create a job report, summarizing all the steps taken, inventory consumed, and any follow-up that might be needed here. Now, this is a pretty incredible process, right?
That was an awesome demo, Ryan, my man. So, I mean, it's amazing what you see the entire end-to-end proactive service coming to action. When you really think about what Ryan just showed us, so we saw the real-time telematics events come in. We did the remote service diagnostics. We invited customer to drive self-service action. And then we saw the field technicians enriched with all the powerful asset data to drive that first-time fix rate. But Ryan, a lot of times here is where the major challenges for manufacturers occur, the disconnected depot repair process. What if we can actually unlock a great service revenue potential across every written order? Wouldn't it be great? So I would like to invite Ryan again. Why don't you show this in action for us?
Exactly, Nanda. This is where most manufacturers lose the thread with that disconnected depot repair process, but not Badger. From the moment the pump arrives, we're tracking its journey through every stage, all in one place. And managers have full visibility, easily switching between plan and executed views, providing full visibility into real-time progress. Even for those complex jobs, we're automatically creating and distributing tasks to the right technicians. No more missteps, fragmented data. Every part, cost, and hour of labor is accounted for, helping provide visibility to the resale margin for this specific repair. And as technicians are completing that work, we're automatically capturing their start and stop times across various stages and tasks to populate those timesheets. And the service bomb connects the work order to your inventory. As technicians track parts being consumed, we're automatically updating stock levels. We can even track when parts have been superseded by newer versions. Here, I can see that we have availability of the current pump on hand, but there's a newer version available from the supplier. And I want to ensure I'm maximizing resale value for this pump and want to confirm with the supplier that we've actually resolved the leak issue here. Turning to Slack, I can collaborate with my extended product and supplier teams to share case information and troubleshoot on root cause analysis. And here, my product team can even chime in, sharing a trending case report, noting that this is a common issue among similar products. Now, rest assured, the partner confirms that they've changed the metal composition and resolved any leak issues with this pump. So think about the power of this at scale. With a full understanding of the pump's issues, we can now use Slack workflows to kick off a proactive service upgrade campaign. And with this upgrade campaign, we can streamline outreach to every single customer with similar products to help drive that service revenue. So, Nanda, think about everything that we just saw here. It's an automated, streamlined, end-to-end service process that can completely change the way you think about the relationship between yourselves, your products, and your customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's very powerful. What you just saw is the end-to-end service transformation coming to life with the power of Agentforce. Now let's switch gears. Let's start looking at the sales innovations. We help the sales teams streamline their entire book of the business, all the way from managing the sales agreements to forecasting and quotes. We also help bring the front office operations and intelligent agents across every step of the sales process. We continue to align and refine the entire planning and forecasting process. In short, we help manufacturers sell more, faster, smarter, and with more connected customer experiences. Let's start unlocking our very first sales agentic experience, Sales Concierge. This is one of the most excited use cases. I know a lot of you have asked for it, and we are delivering it in spring 26. So Sales Concierge, this intelligent agent, continues to create a unified view of the customer, but more importantly, drive recommendations of products, parts, and accessories with intelligent inventory search. What it also does is it drives the entire sales process and reduces the entire sales cycle from months to days and to minutes as well. Ryan, why don't you come back and show us how Sales Concierge comes to action? Over to you.
Yeah, this is a particularly exciting innovation. So let's take a look at how this happens. So Larry, a sales rep at the Chicago branch of an equipment dealer group, receives a Slack alert for an urgent web lead. And it looks like this customer needs to replace a generator to prevent costly downtime. So everyone knows in a deal like this, quick action is key to winning this customer's business. Agentforce will instantly recommend products based on the current generator's specifications. Agentforce also allows Larry to search real-time inventory across all dealer branches. And here, he can see that the Indianapolis group actually has one of the recommended generators in stock. Finally, Agentforce is also looking at the current generator's specifications to set recommended trade-in appraisal values that can be added to the quote and adjusted at time of final inspection. In an external dealer channel, Larry can collaborate natively in Slack with the Indy team to initiate that product transfer, streamlining interbranch workflows without ever switching systems. And when the quote's signed, all stakeholders are automatically notified so that we can initiate that urgent customer shipment. This is how Larry's able to meet the customer's needs in a timely manner and stay ahead of the competition with those lightning fast turnaround times. Nanda, back to you.
This is incredible to see the entire journey coming to life. And the important thing where, if you looked at it, the entire experience was in Slack, which is where the majority of the time is spent by the sales reps. So let's continue our sales innovations with sales agreement management. When you think about a new sales rep who doesn't have any understanding of the customer, or if there are many agreements that are out there, this new intelligent agent really helps them streamline and identify where the discrepancies are, and then be able to recommend appropriate actions. Continuing with the sales agreement innovations is the bulk updates, which actually helps you do updates across the product revenue and quality metrics. We also are introducing so many agents in this area that you would like to make sure that you have the entire connected experience taken care by it. So let's move on to the next pillar of innovations, which is channels. This is where we bring in the entire partner ecosystem to drive visibility, intelligence, and automations. It could be your dealers, distributors, or contractors. There are three critical outcomes we drive. We automate the entire partner onboarding journey, all the way from onboarding them to creating the codes to finishing up with orders. We continue to optimize the revenue and the performance across the entire channel revenue management. We also empower our partners to deliver the great asset-centric services that we talked about. Now let's deep dive into the channel revenue management. It creates a single unified experience across the partner's revenue, channel inventory, and the rebate payouts. One of the first agents that we introduced this summer is the rebate payout, where you could actually identify what are all the various summaries, the various discrepancies, and then be able to drive recommended actions. We also unify the entire channel inventory by bringing in performance and price to drive channel profitability. What is also important here is the stock rotation incentives. This is, again, one of the mostly asked requests, and we are happy to deliver this, which actually helps the partners rotate all the unused inventory and continue to unlock great revenue opportunities. Okay, Now I need drum rolls. Are you all ready? So this is one of the most exciting innovation, sample management. This is one of the common requests we got in across several years, and as well as through the Product Advisory Council. We listened to it and we delivered it. So this sample management really helps streamline the entire process of samples, all the way from creation to status tracking to distribution and to closing loop with the customer feedback. What does it mean to you? Oftentimes, the sales and innovations are so disconnected to each other. It really helps drive all the various innovations. It lowers the costs, and more importantly, it drives the 360-degree view of the every sample that has been shipped. Are you all ready to see this in action? Ryan, why don't you take it home?
Yeah, thanks, Nanda. So using sales agreements in Salesforce, your reps can build out those planned order schedules and then track order quantities and revenue month over month. And all this data is great, but if I'm a new sales rep or an executive trying to get up to speed quickly, can be a bit much to digest. This is where Agentforce sales agreement summaries comes in. It provides a quick summary of the agreement's performance, flags any deviations according to plan, and even recommends next best steps. Here, I can see the customer is purchasing toluene at rates lower than we anticipated. So as a sales rep, this is empowering me to have more meaningful, data-driven conversations with my customers about their current purchase levels. And if I want to take more context into consideration, I can see the rebate programs that have been applied to this customer and can see that they're actually close to hitting the next rebate tier for toluene that would trigger an additional payout. And with that channel inventory tracking that Nanda talked about, I can also see that unsold partner inventory and see that they're running low on stock for this same product. So all of this is combining to tell me, actually, it's not a bad time to talk to this customer about an additional order. And what's decided in this conversation is that if we adjust our prices, they'll up their order levels over the remainder of the year. Now, with Agentforce sales agreement bulk updates, we can make those changes across multiple customer agreements at one time. This is helping create a clear picture of what customers need, ensuring better forecast accuracy, and maximizing revenue on every single agreement. Now, as Nanda mentioned, with one of the most exciting new updates, sample management, that's historically been a siloed, disconnected process. But with sample management in Salesforce, we can change that. Sales and service teams can now create sample requests directly from opportunities, ensuring all relevant information is captured and that we're connecting sample through to revenue. On the sample request screen, we can define products, quantities, and sale amounts, as well as seeing current inventory levels to help me manage expectations with customers on current lead times. And once the customer's agreed, we can create that order directly within our flow of work, providing visibility to when the order was shipped and delivered. All of this is helping create a clear line of sight from sample through to revenue. With the connected sample management process, I can help justify the ROI of every single sample that we're looking at here and give me direct correlations to key performance indicators like larger deal sizes and higher close rates. So it's helping give me that complete picture of how are we justifying our ROIs and what impact are they having on the business. Now, with that, I'd like to thank Nanda and our demo drivers and introduce Sean Sternfeld, Salesforce Manufacturing AVP, to bring some of our Trailblazers to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nanda. Quick round of applause for our demo team again, please. Amazing. Good afternoon, everybody. I think this is our favorite part of the show. We get to talk to customers. Right on stage with me, I have Allison and Simone. Simone is from Goodyear. Allison is from Eaton. I'd love you guys to introduce yourselves to the audience. Tell us a little about yourselves, a little about Eaton and Goodyear, please.
Sounds good. So Eaton is a global intelligent power management company with operations on over 170 countries.
Okay.
So we really help industries, communities, and people use energy more efficiently, safely, and sustainably. So whether it's keeping a plane in the air, data flowing through servers, or cities running smoothly, Eaton's technologies are really working behind the scenes to make what matters work. We have a very rich history. We were founded in 1911 and have been on the New York Stock Exchange for over 100 years. And I'm Allison Magyari. I am the Vice President of IT for our Global Business Relationship Management. And just on a personal note, Eaton has really been one of my biggest blessings. I must talk about it a lot because I was at a fundraiser recently and I was just saying how much I love Eaton. And somebody overheard my conversation and asked me, "Is Eaton the name of your boyfriend?" And I had to tell them, no, it's the name of my company, but I really can't say enough good about it.
Amazing. Simone.
Yeah, I'm Simone Gabbianelli. I'm the Senior IT Director at Goodyear for marketing and cloud platforms. So Goodyear is one of the largest tire manufacturers, one of the most iconic brands in the world. We've been founded in 1898, so a bit older. We employ approximately 68,000 people. We have 51 facilities, 19 countries, 2 very large innovation centers in Colmar-Berg in Luxembourg and in Akron, Ohio, where we really produce the state-of-the-art technology and performance for tire. I need to add, I love Goodyear as well. I've been at Goodyear for most of my career, and it's a fantastic company to work for.
Amazing. Thank you, Simone. Alison, if you don't mind me, I'll ask you a couple of questions for the audience. Before Eaton could really unlock AI or Agentforce, you guys went to kind of a back to the basics, right? Trying to make sure that your data is correct and getting your account structures right. What was so critical about doing that before you ventured into the AI world journey?
Yeah, for us, this wasn't just a technical reset. It really was a strategic reset. We needed to unify the way that we manage our customer data and interactions across the enterprise. And at the time, our account structure was fragmented. Different teams throughout Eaton used Salesforce very differently, which led to inconsistent and unreliable data. So for us, back to the basics really meant partnering our internal Salesforce team with our master data management team to redesign Salesforce's account structure to be more in alignment with Eaton's go-to-market strategy. And that foundation was critical because, as you know, AI is really only as good as the data that it learns from. Mm-hmm. So if our account structure was messy, our AI outputs would be messy too. So in creating this foundation with this groundwork, we were then able to deploy Agentforce with confidence. So we now have agents that can retrieve data, reason through tasks, and really execute decisions autonomously, which changes the game when we think about the future of sales, services, and marketing. So for us, back to the basics wasn't really a step backwards in any way. It was really the leap forward that made AI possible.
Amazing. So getting that alignment, you kind of, as you said, work towards Eaton's go-to-market rather than how your ERP was set up. Give us a couple of deep examples, if you can, of how that realignment really improved how your teams engage and also you engage with your customers.
Yeah, this evolution was really about aligning Salesforce's foundation to Eaton's go-to-market strategy, which is by segment, not geography. Right. So over the last 3 years or so, we've really shifted our business strategy to focus on segment, things like utilities, aerospace, or data centers, because our customers really have become more global and tailored, and so have our solutions. So we really needed to take a step back and think, how do we want to view customer pipeline or service cases? So for example, in the past, a global data center customer may have been fragmented across multiple regional accounts, making it very difficult to see the full picture. Now with our segment-aligned Salesforce setup, we can see the customer holistically across geography or product or services. And this has really changed the game with how we collaborate and how we engage with our customers, because now we're all working off of one view of the customer journey. So it's not that anything was really broken, it's that our go-to-market strategy evolved and Salesforce was able to evolve with us.
Amazing, amazing, helping internally and externally, amazing. Simone, let me switch gears over to yourself. Goodyear serves everybody, mom and pop shops, national fleets. It's an incredible range of complexity you guys are servicing. So I'd love to pick your brain really here. How is AI kind of helping you create a unified platform to really adopt and help that local dealer or help that national trucking firm, operate in this agentic world?
So yes, Goodyear has been in the market for 127 years. So we have 127 years of innovation, of customer experience. And it doesn't really matter where we are delivering a tire to land on the moon or win some races or what's the best choice for your vehicle, for your fleet, for your car. We always try to put the customer in the center. We are on a mission, and really our mission is to have the right product at the right place at the right time. And in order to do this, data is absolutely critical. So we see Salesforce as an enabler, as the way to really move strategies into actions. We've been talking about strategy. And what we're doing is we are consolidating these hundreds, these centuries of experience, expertise in one single global platform. AI-driven from the beginning. So we redesigned for AI to start. We're doing this in order to really accelerate, to deliver streamlined experiences. I mean, there were 3 words in the opening that really resonated with me. One was the human middleware. I love that term, so I think I will start to use it. How do we capture the hundreds of experience that our talent have and put it in a platform that then can maximize the outcome, can help them to do not always be the middleware, but accelerate the delivery or be more strategic, be closer to the customer. The second point is the platform, and that's exactly what we are doing, right? We are introducing a global digital platform where we are bringing all these years of experience into this platform. Then the third part, which we probably touch a little bit later, but is this human and digital together. It's not a digital experience, it's a digital experience helping the human. So what we're really doing in order to be able to capture all of this and serve our customer with the best experiences is we are implementing one core, clean platform globally, and that will be the backbone of everything that we're going to do going forward.
Given that, how is Goodyear going to move forward and get that right product on the right shelf at the right time, right? Using agents, and then helping your sales reps really put the perfect tire on Sean's car?
So the how start with 127 years of data. It's terrific, right? Is what makes us different. Is our legacy. Is where we can really differentiate on the market. But then it goes of being extremely intentional. We cannot bring under 27 years of data in the new platform and pretend that AI can work on something that is so rich and so complex. So the how starts with a lot of discipline. It starts with being outcome driven and obsessed by the outcome, even before starting the implementation. And then it goes in focus. So we're starting with sales, for example, where agents are really helping our sales team to do what matters for them, to be out there, to really be close to the customer, to build a strategic relationship, not to focus on the admin task. So this is where the human and digital experience is coming together. The human experience is the strategic part. The digital experience can do tasks on their behalf. And then one element that I really want to stress is data. We see the new platform, Agentforce, really being the way to exploit all the work that our analytics team has been doing in the past. We have a great analytics team. They've been consolidating, cleaning this data. They're building this foundation. Now we can really exploit this foundation because with the new mindset, moving from dashboard to agent, moving from data to action, I don't need to spend the time building a dashboard and then helping the consumer of the dashboard to understand how to use to maximize. I have an agent. It's very simple to use and deliver actions. This is what we believe will make us successful in the journey.
Continuing on that, how do you make those or insist those agents keep that personal touch?
Well, I love the question because it's really going to the last point, right? We see the technology being an enabler. Our talent are so critical. Our employee, our talent, our customer are at the core of everything that we're doing. There is no success if they are not successful. So what we see is we're asking everybody to participate. The journey is a very complex journey. This doesn't happen in a night time and doesn't happen if there is no intention. So we're asking everybody to change the mindset, to start to give us the question. What question do you want? You now have this superpower. You have this agent working for you. It can help you to answer those questions. What question do you need? And help us to go through the process. Help us to refine the data to answer that question, including service, which is really critical for us, is the way we deliver. In a nutshell, we see agents as a complement of our talents to make working with us easier. And this is where we see the future is, of making that work extremely easier for our customer, for our employee, and for the entire enterprise organization.
Last question for both of you. What are you most excited? Here comes next year. You saw a lot of the innovations that the team built inside the product. What are you most excited about? Allison, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited about the rise of the what if mindset. Right. I've been hearing more and more of these questions that are bold, curious, and future facing. And the one that really resonates with me the most is, what if every plant floor worker could become a strategist? Right. They are the ones that are closest to the work. They're the ones that know the process better than anyone. So what if they had the data, the tools, and the voice to help shape the future of the business? And I think with Agentforce, we're starting to make that a reality because we're starting to democratize intelligence across the enterprise. So that excites me because I think when everybody becomes a strategist, then the entire organization becomes unstoppable.
It's amazing. Thank you. Simone.
And yes, we want to be with our customer when they need it and where they need us. The tire industry and picking the right tire is a complex process. We want to be there. We want to make that experience as easy as possible. We really want to be the most value-added company, and that will help us to achieve our vision, which is being the number one in tires and services.
I love it. Thank you both so much for being a customer, so much for being a partner. Enjoy your journey here. And we appreciate you coming here today. Thank you so much. All right, I'd like to hand it back over to Tony.
Awesome, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, all right, thank you. All right, thank you again, Sean and Allison and Simone. That was an awesome discussion. I've been told to pick up the pace a little bit. We have a few minutes left here, so we'd like to invite one more customer up on stage, and that person is Tony Gondik from Kawasaki Motors. Yeah, thanks, Tony. Hey, Tony, just for the audience, maybe talk a little bit about what Kawasaki engines in particular and your role is there.
Well, I think first I need to say we need one more Tony up here so we can get the start of a great band. What do you guys think? Tony? Okay, there's the marketing team right over there. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Kawasaki Motors, my particular division is the division that supplies a lot of high horsepower, small profile engines to OEM manufacturers and professional landscaping equipment. So you'll see our mowers in a lot of zero-turn landscaping equipment that our OEMs like Husqvarna, Toro, MTD all produce for a end user.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I'm going to flip the script on you a little bit.
Oh no! Don't.
A bit of a surprise.
Okay. Oh, all right.
No, this year we had the opportunity to have our first annual Golden Hoodie Award winner for manufacturing, and it was pretty much unanimous amongst our entire team that person should be Tony Gondik here. So congratulations, Tony. Really appreciate it.
All right.
And I know I was trying to get the size out of you ahead of time. I think we got you an extra large, so we'll get you a different one.
Oh, well, perfect. All right. Yeah.
So real quickly, I know we're constrained on time. Tony's been an amazing partner. He was one of our very first manufacturing cloud customers. I remember sitting in Grand Rapids with him, kind of thinking about this idea. He said, I think we could kind of use something like that, and away we went. But he's been part of our product advisory council, just a great partner in helping shape what we want to do, what we want to build. More importantly, though, he's been a huge contributor to the ecosystem. A lot of you in the room have probably talked to Tony at some point. He shares everything. He's always open to like discussing best practices, lessons learned, really helping shape a lot of the implementations out there. So Tony, really appreciate it. Then
No, thank you.
Yep, and look forward to further collaboration.
Oh, yes. Well, it's a huge opportunity, and I always like giving back. It's part of that servant leadership. And so, yeah, I'm always happy to help.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you
right.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. 1 minute left. We have a big manufacturing roadmap. Nanda covered a lot of the things that we just introduced in the spring and summer release, and then what's coming in winter as well. Key things to keep in mind here, we're going to continue to double down on agentic applications, and this is super powerful in that it leverages broader sets of data across the entire manufacturing construct, right, that we're building here. Sales, channel, and service is going to remain our focus. You're going to see a lot more emphasis on data cloud-based applications. Again, the idea of bringing more data, more capabilities into the overall platform. Be sure to check out our roadmap sessions, though, that are in the in your app here. You can go and get into more details as you need them. Finally, I think just kind of challenge everyone to think about how Agentforce for manufacturing is going to change your business. The good news is a lot of you are already doing a lot with Agentforce. All these events that we go to, these marketing activities, it's exciting to hear what customers are experimenting with. Frankly, it's a lot of things that we're not even thinking about, right? What's important, though, is to give us feedback. We're going to continue to build these agentic templates for manufacturing. There's key elements of that. There are topics and actions being delivered, so you can use that as part of the templates we deliver, or you can use it to build your own capabilities, your own agents, very specific to your business to really differentiate yourself. And last but not least, check out, you got a day and a half here left. There's a lot of other things to cover. Networking at the Siemens Manufacturing Lodge, if you haven't checked that out, it's a great place to sit down, have a cup of coffee, network with your peers. There's a campground. So this particular demo that Nanda and Ryan walked through today is available in the campground. We have solution engineers ready to go deeper on the subject. All this content will be available on Salesforce Plus. So if you want to go back and listen to Allison and Simone, their story, or anyone else that was part of this, you can check that out. And a copy of Manufacturing Cloud, a trial org, can be spun up by clicking on this link here or going to manufacturingcloud.com. And with that, I'm at 0 time. Thank you. Really appreciate your participation today. A big thank you to the entire team that pulled us together, marketing resources. Cynthia Turner was in the middle of this, our demo team, and all the customers that participated. Allison, Simone, and congrats to Tony again. Thank you.